It's not a bold claim to say UEFA and FIFA work together to squeeze every last dollar they can out of club football. In fact, many people have called out the head of FIFA, Gianni Infantino, many times for corruption and greed. But this new version of the tournament has really made sure that they've earned that title. You see, the first problem many players have with this tournament is fixture congestion. Top teams are already playing too many games a season, when you take into consideration the European tournaments that have been expanded to 8-game group stages, but also domestic cups and of course each country's respective league. For example, last season Declan Rice played 66 games or 5,563 minutes. Luckily, he has been able to stay in shape. However, we all understand that putting this much stress on the body, playing the most intense football in the world, can result in far more injuries. Which is terrible news for the top clubs all around the world who have qualified for the new edition, as the tournament would be expanded to 32 clubs, where these teams will be put into 8 different groups, and the top 2 of each group will make it to the knockout round, while the bottom 2 will have their stay cut short. It'll be the same exact format as the actual World Cup, meaning that a team gets to the final, they will be playing 7 extra games, and it will start on June 15th and end on July 13th. Meaning that players will barely get any rest, as the season ends in May, and for many teams in South America, this tournament would happen during the middle of their season, which could be terrible if one of their stars gets injured during a title push. But to counteract this, many top teams seem like they won't be taking the competition as seriously as Infantino would like. So to make sure all of the biggest stars are playing, FIFA has warned each team to bring their strongest side, which many people would say is impossible to enforce. I mean, how could FIFA come out and say which player is the strongest for each side? I mean, sure, we the fans know I'd rather see Erling Haaland up top than some random City Academy player. But Manchester City might not want to bring their most important player to a competition which is not going to be deemed as prestigious by most people. In fact, it seems as though Pep Guardiola has already challenged FIFA when he was asked in an interview, which I'll play the clip to.
Saying you have to bring your strongest players to the States. Now, we've heard from players saying they're worried about playing too many games, players saying they're preparing for 60, 70 game seasons. What's your reaction to them?
What is the strongest players? Which ones?
And Pep makes a good point. So we will see how or if FIFA actually tells coaches which players must play in the tournament. Honestly, no matter how hard FIFA tries, no one will care about it because there just isn't enough money involved. Well, at least the European teams won't, but I'm sure some other confederations definitely will. But they are certainly trying their hardest, as their latest maneuver of including Inter Miami has just been, well, comical. See, there were only 2 spots remaining, and FIFA still hasn't been able to get a broadcast offer that reached that $4 billion goal that they had put. Although reports came out that Apple, yes, the tech company, offered FIFA $1 billion to stream the tournament, that was not enough for them. So they had an emergency meeting, and funnily enough, theories have come out regarding the last spot, as Inter Miami won the 2024 MLS Supporters Shield, breaking the record of most points in an MLS season by just a single point, which earned them qualification to the Club World Cup. In fact, the president Infantino would come out onto the pitch after their win to congratulate them and announce their inclusion to the tournament.
Outstanding performance of this year, you deserve to be and you will be qualified for the FIFA Club World Cup 2025.
And for some, it has caused an uproar, as before Inter Miami won this shield, it wasn't announced by FIFA as a way to get into the Club World Cup. So imagine if another team had won it. Let's be real, if second place Columbus Crew had somehow gotten their hands on this trophy, Mr. Infantino wouldn't have cared. But at the end of the day, FIFA needs their money, and having the world's most iconic player, Lionel Messi, and his other Barcelona friends in the tournament will undoubtedly bring in more viewers, which is exactly what FIFA want. But do they think we're really this stupid? I mean, Chelsea qualified by winning the 2021 Champions League. Hell, even fellow MLS side Seattle Sounders qualified by winning the CONCACAF Champions Cup. These are both continental tournaments, so how come Messi and friends get in by winning a domestic competition? And even if we skip all that, the Supporters Shield isn't even the most important trophy you could win if you were an MLS team, as there is still a playoff and knockout games that see the top 8 teams from each conference fight to win the MLS Cup, just like the one Bale and LAFC won, which is considered the most important trophy in the MLS. I mean, seriously, the Supporters Shield doesn't even really mean anything to many fans. I understand that one team in the host nation will qualify for this tournament, which is in the USA. but FIFA had waited until Inter Miami won something to then disclose that the Supporters Shield would be the way to get into the tournament, which is, well, blatant corruption. But I'm not gonna lie, Inter Miami is probably the best MLS team anyways. But Messi is definitely FIFA's golden boy, which I guess makes sense. I mean, it is the first time they're doing a Club World Cup like this, and well, football is a business at the end of the day, so no one will get too mad as they will probably get beaten by an elite European side anyways. And if we're being for real, by the time we get to the quarterfinals, there will only be European teams, unless a South American team could pull off a shock. But what do you think of this new system? And who will win the whole thing? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this one.